Hello everyone, my name is Jesse and welcome back to, this is I guess part 2 of me painting the mechanical Bakugan from New Vestoria. This episode we have Boriates. If you've missed the last one we did Mock Spider, and so here I am just kind of showing the Bakugan off as I printed it, and we're going to be spraying it with a flat white primer to begin. I decided to do this just because I felt like the paint would go on better, and Boriates is already kind of white, and the primer did this cool thing where it kind of accented some lines. I think if I would have printed this in black, it would have made it more almost like anime manga style in a sense, or like even some like certain graphic novels. It kind of highlights and accents those marks. It's not perfect, but this is not a functional model. It's literally just like a statue. So I think this worked for it. It also kind of brought out all the print flaws. These are really hard to print. So for this, I'm using yellow, red, blue, and then I'm gonna mix these two to get like a dark gray. You'll see that later. And here is a picture of Boriates up on the top, and basically all I'm doing is painting where it's yellow, and it's not metallic. You'll see what I do later with that. It's not metallic. If I printed in metallic or had metallic paint, I would definitely use that. But we're just sort of following the exact colors that we have here. And yeah, it's a pretty easy process. If you saw my Mock Spider video, it's the same. And we're just going to do multiple layers on that. So here's me just painting that first half, trying to get as much as I can. Here is what it looks like after that first layer, and I did miss a gem right there in the center. I missed a couple spots actually that I went back and ended up fixing. And here is the final product of the yellow, I guess. It's not 100% perfect. I think I do another layer, but here I am kind of saying like, all right, it's time to do the red. So again, just using that same reference photo, I just dotted everything with some really thinned down acrylic paint. And I believe I did a couple layers on this, maybe one or two, but the red paint really stood out and stuck. So the only one I really had an issue with was this one right here. I had to do quite a few coats to get that just how I wanted, because of how large it was, and it didn't quite, nothing quite sat in the recess well, if that makes sense. But yeah, we let that dry, and then we moved on to this kind of a yellow-green. I'm not really sure what this color is. I just went with this sky blue because it's what I had available. I think it might be more of a teal, but that's okay with me. It's not really not the end of the world what that looks like. But yep, there it is, super easy. And then we just move on to that dark gray. I just mixed black with a touch of white to get this like charcoal color. And yeah, we just paint every other part there. This includes the claws, the inside of the hands. There's a part on the foot there as well that I ended up having to get that was a bit of a challenge. It probably doesn't look the best. This also took a couple coats, and then we also have to get sort of in the center of the Bakugan. So as you'll see here in a second, I'm about to go in and yeah, do the neck. And this was pretty tough, I won't lie. This took a little bit longer than I wanted it to, and it was also really messy. Took a bunch of layers, so this is almost like an optional side if you really don't want to paint this. You probably don't have to, but it does add some depth and layer to Boriates. And as you can see here, I'm just kind of finishing that up, giving it its final touches, getting way up in the neck there, touching up some other pieces. And then finally going with a clear gloss. I did this with my Mock Spider. Still don't know how I feel about it. It makes it look wet instead of like shiny, like mechanical shiny. But this was the result I came out with after a couple different touch-ups. I did touch up some areas with some white where certain colors leaked over. It's not perfect. It's probably not going to be. Again, it's just a model. I don't have a functional one. And of course, you can see the little metal there. He does not stand up very well. I had to prop him up with a piece of a paper clip just to get him to stand upright. So if he had a magnet, he would stand up, of course, but this one didn't. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like, drop a comment, and of course, subscribe for more awesome content.